Hey, Noctica here, and I'm giving you a run through the mix session of my single Afterlife. So I've got the mix session open, and I'm going to dive in and show you guys how I put the song together, show you guys some of the little bits and pieces in all of the tracks and some of the stuff that you might not be able to hear. So let's get into it. So first thing I put together when I sat down to write this song was the drum beat, and the reason is because the drum beat was essentially going to be the backbone of the whole entire song. It carries across the whole entire thing. And the only variation in it is sometimes some of the layers in the drums kind of pop in and out. So this was the original drum beat that I started off with. So once I got that original beat, I laid a couple of snares over the top to give it a little bit of extra life. So what I did was add a snare, a reverse snare, and a clap like this. And then with the original drum beat, that's what it ended up sounding like. So the next thing that I did was added a few percussion elements to the drum beat so that there was a bit more in there to kind of add a bit of life, add a bit of movement, and just to add a little bit of ear candy. And first up is this ride cymbal. Then I added some crashes. Next up, we've got this like woodblock thing. Then we've got this splash. And the final thing in the drums that I added, the second last thing that I added in the drums was a bit of a last minute addition. But something that I found when working with electronic drums is they seem to feel kind of flat, or like they don't have a lot of life to them. And for me, I come from like the rock and metal world, so I'm very used to like having some form of acoustic drums in almost every single thing. So this is the kit. So I'll show you guys the original beat and then I'll add in all the stuff, and it's crazy how much of a difference just a couple of layers can make. So here's the original beat, and I'm going to throw the extras in halfway through. And the extras. Super awesome. The only other two things that I did in the drums was in the chorus, I kind of wanted to add this like Valentino's vibe. And for anyone that doesn't play Cyberpunk, Valentino's is like a gang inside of Cyberpunk. They're pretty cool. But like their theme songs inside of the game always have these cool like offbeat kind of claps and stuff like that. So I thought I'd add some in because why not? So it's just these. And with everything, this is what it sounds like. Pretty cool. Next thing I sunk my teeth into was the synthesizers and all of the instrumentation. So first thing I started off with was this like main synth line. Like the typical Cyberpunk da-da-da-da-da-da-da kind of thing. So I started off with this synth and just made like a simple kind of like melody for it. This is what that sounded like. So once I did that, I knew I needed to add in a higher melody of some kind, just so that there was something to carry like the song as well, so it wasn't just like bass and kick. I kind of took a bit of an inspiration from like the type chords, because when I played through it, I just remember that being like a really prominent thing, and I just tried to kind of create this like melody that could just kind of carry throughout the whole song and carry the song along. So I found the stringed instrument thing on Fruity Loops and basically just put that together, and this is what it sounds like. After putting all that together, what I wound up with was this, instrumentation wise. I think that sounds good enough. So all I really did was just add some additional layers in so that it sounded a little bit more full and a little bit more lively. Similar to how I approach the drums, is like instead of just having just the straight beat, you add a couple of extra layers in that kind of just support what's already there. So first thing I needed to do was beef up that bass line a little bit, make it feel a little bit more full. So I had added a high version of it in. Another version of the high thing, but with like a widener on it, just to give it a bit more width. And then I added sort of like this weird distorted synth guitar thing just to give it a little bit more crunch. So I'll show you before and after of that. So this is before. And I'm going to bring in all of the extra elements halfway through. Just kind of makes that bass line like a little bit more audible. The thing that I added was like kind of like this wobbly synth thing, and that was just to give it like a bit of like a hacker netrunner kind of vibe, make it a little bit less synthy and a bit more cyber. Onto the chorus. The chorus was super duper interesting. So normally when I write choruses, I put in like a placeholder piano, playing chords and doing like the vocal melody just while I figure out instrumentation and stuff, and also play around with like what lyrics and stuff could be. So this is what I originally started off with the chorus. Really simple. And then underneath that, I decided to just kind of make like a little bass line, just so that there was some low end in that section. So altogether, what that ended up sounding like was this. When I started writing Afterlife, I hadn't actually properly started Noctica yet. So I didn't really know how I was going to sound. I didn't really know like how I was going to perform my vocals. I didn't know like what kind of vibe I was going to go for. I didn't really know where I was going with this. I kind of just decided to experiment and try out all of these different vocal styles to see what felt right, and I used this song as like a bit of an experiment to try and figure that out. So first thing I wrote was the chorus. I had an idea of what I was going to do with the verses. I didn't know what I was doing lyric wise, but I knew I was going to be doing some screaming. I knew I was going to probably try out some rapping and doing some like kind of aggressive vocals. So I felt like the chorus would be a really cool chance to switch it up, and I thought by doing this like weird airy fairy voice that would switch things up, it would hopefully kind of make the song feel a little bit more interesting. So this is the final vocal take. It took me a lot of different takes to kind of get this together, because when I put this together, I couldn't actually do these vocals properly. Like it took a lot of like, you know, one-offs and replacing words and stuff like that.
I do not care if I live or I die. It's all the same when this life's not mine. Don't wait for me on the other side. I'll be claiming my place in the afterlife.
So this is what the backing vocals sound like.
I do not care if I live or I die. It's all the same.
recorded those in a rush. Yeah, you can tell all of it was recorded in a rush because it's very, like, it's pretty messy. But again, happy accident. Sometimes things that you kind of have to rush through sound cool because you don't have time to sit around and be a perfectionist. The thing I've been getting into lately for vocal production is trying to not only tell like a bit of a story through the lyrics, but also trying to use the actual tonality of the voice and the effects that are on the voice to, you know, kind of add a bit of flavor to like what's actually being said. So in this case, like these yelling lines are, you know, talking about basically like, you know, getting some cyberware and not, you know, losing your mind and going cyber psycho and stuff. So I thought it'd be a really, really cool idea to kind of try and make the lyrics literally feel like they're borderlining on no longer being human, and like, you know, they're distorting and they're glitching and they're, you know, doing all these things. So to do that, I ended up recording most of my verse vocals through this auto-tune pedal that I got a long time ago when I wanted to try do that like auto-tune T-Pain kind of thing live. And at the time my computer was really dodgy and I didn't trust using it live, so I got a pedal instead because I thought it would be a little bit easier to handle. And so what I ended up doing was I recorded these vocals, but I ended up like turning the gain up too loud, so it was like clipping on the way in. You know, the auto tune was like kind of like turning on and off and stuff, and like I've ended up like cutting up some of the vocals and glitching them out, and like I feel like it really, really does something cool. So I'll show you guys what that sounds like.
I'll take a chance, I'll break the cycle, crawl the fuck up, I'm not going cyber psycho. Cut me off, shoot me down, chew my fucking chroming now. Jacking in, ice is boss, set right number to the top. Gonna need that platinum, trauma team for when we drop. Massacre a block, but we never fucking start. Call it fucking rip it off. Tell me to my vision off, vision getting dark, sucker sipping on.
It's all the same when this life's not mine. Don't wait for me on the other side. I'll be claiming my place. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hope there was something in there for you. Hope that was fun, enjoyable, or just maybe a little bit educational. Just want to say a quick thank you to every single person who's taken the time out of their life to listen to this song. I can't believe it has hit 100K. It's absolutely insane to me. This is like my second ever song that I've released, and in all honesty, I thought this song was just going to like rot on my hard drive for the, you know, for the remainder of all time. So, to have it like not only be well received by you all, but like you guys share it out so much and get it to where it has like really been insane for me. It's been super heartwarming, and I don't really have much else to say other than thank you. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting my music and thank you for helping me out. Yeah, hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.